Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Milestone and my channel is all about finding your passion, fulfilling your potential and achieving your goals. In this video, I'll talk you through how to have a successful career and earn over 100k. 6 figures. That would be nice. It is attainable, believe me, and I'll be sharing all the insights and knowledge that I've gained after getting to a really senior position at a multi-billion-dollar firm. So I'll start off by saying there's a big trend of wanting to be your own boss, to be an entrepreneur, and that's great. The more entrepreneurs, the better, if that is what you want to do. However, I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a successful career. I don't think you should be peer pressured by anyone else or what's trending right now, because you can be successful, you can make a lot of money, and you can become a millionaire as a result of being an employee. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. The other point I want to make is wealth is relative. So 100k might seem crazy to you, but in the UK right now, there are over 500,000 people earning over 100k. It might seem crazy, but these people exist. If over 500,000 people can do it, there's no reason why you can't as well. You can attain it, and all the tips in this video will help you do that. And if you were like me growing up, I didn't really have much knowledge of money or how to manage it. I didn't understand what a good or a great salary would be. In fact, I remember thinking, if I get to 30k, I'll be balling, I'll be living the high life, I'll have a 5-bed, I'll have a nice car, I'll be going on holidays every other month. But obviously the reality is very different. So the first point is identify what you like and what suits your skills. When working, you've got to remember, you'll be spending most of your time there. That's probably 5 days a week, 9 to 5. So you've got to like what you do. If you don't, you'll end up leaving, going to another field, and you might be able to put up with it for a few years because of the money, maybe the benefits, but in the long run, it's not going to work out for you, honestly. And I've seen it with a lot of people where they get to a certain level and then they realize, actually, this isn't what I want to do. I'm not enjoying it at all, regardless of all these benefits. And they change careers and start again from the bottom. That is not the way to go about things. So I'd say this is the most important point, in particular if you are young and you're looking to start a career soon. This is a very vital point for you. Please make note of this. In fact, in this point, what you are doing is essentially identifying what your passion is. And luckily for you guys, I've already done a video about how to find your passion and purpose. The second point is research the roles that fit your passion and your skills and identify what you need to do to get into those roles. So do your research. Go on job boards, look at job descriptions, speak to people in your network, do further research online, and create a short list of jobs that fit your passion that you'd be interested in looking into. And then identify what skills you need to learn. Look at the job descriptions. What are they asking for? Think about these things. And then my third point is think long term. An easy trap a lot of us can fall into, especially early in our careers, is going for a job that's got a really good starting salary without doing our research into the long term earning potential for that specific role. So for example, you might go for a job that is starting off at, say, 30k. That's a great starting salary. However, that job might cap out at 60,000, so 60k. But you might have another job whereby you'll start at 18k, but the earning potential is over 100k. And you might be able to get to that 100k as fast as you get to the 60k in the other role. So that's something to bear in mind. Then my next point is work for a company that shares your values. This is really important, and it's something that I've started to appreciate a lot more as I progress through my career. I think what you'll find is some companies have the right salary and the right job for you, but they've not got the right culture that allows you to grow, allows you to be happy, that allows you to be your authentic self at work. And that's so important. So for me, I remember starting my first role at a company where it was the role I wanted, it was the salary that I wanted, but the culture was terrible. And I had a really bad boss. I did end up sticking out for a year to gain the experience, but it took a heavy toll on my mental health. So I ended up leaving. Thankfully, I secured a much better job a few months after that, and I stayed there for over 3 years. It was brilliant. I had a great boss, and there was a really strong and positive company culture where I could thrive. As well, if you're like me, if you're from an ethnic minority background, you want to see people like you in the company. So when researching a company's values, what I tend to do is go on their website, look at their LinkedIn, look at their other social media pages, look at their about page. As a black man, it's very important to me that they've got a good ethnic minority representation across the business, including the senior level. So I'd have a look at that as well. As a Muslim, it's important that I've got facilities whereby I can pray regularly, because that's important to me. If I can't do that, I won't join the company. That's so important to me. So find somewhere where you can be yourself and your values are aligned with the company. So those are just a few examples of what's important to me. I'm sure there are many things that are important to you that you'd want to consider when joining a new company. So don't overlook this. It's so important, and it's gonna help you grow and thrive. And then to really supercharge your career, you want to develop a reputation for excellence wherever you are. People need to know that you are the best at what you do, and the way you can do this is by being curious early on, asking as many questions as need be to develop an understanding of what the task is, what the expectations are for you, and what you can do to exceed in that role. And sometimes we can be put off by asking questions a lot, but I found personally, when starting your career, people are willing and really happy to answer those questions, because it shows that you're ambitious, that you're willing to learn. And in most cases, it will help you deliver work to a higher standard than you would have normally. You're getting that additional insight and information from the right people. And you can do that alongside simple hard work. So once you've asked those questions and those goals are really clear to you, and you've got that feedback from the right members of your teams, make sure you are putting the work in. The next point is build a strong network. So unfortunately, hard work alone and delivering excellent work is not enough. You have to influence the right people to help you accelerate your career and get to where you want to be a lot faster. So I'd recommend doing this with two different audiences. One, with people at your level, so your colleagues that have similar experience to you. Really work with them, build strong bonds with them, because hopefully, if everything goes well, you're accelerating your career, you've got your goals, you're hitting your targets, you're influencing, you will, in a few years' time, get to a really senior position, and so will they. And ultimately, you'll probably move on, you'll go to a different company, they'll go to a different company, you might get a referral from them, they might refer you as well. So build those relationships. You guys are going through the same situations, you can understand each other the most, and you will be the future leaders of your fields. The second key audience is your senior leadership teams at your company. This audience has power over most things within the company. So they've got the budgets, they make the decisions, they sign off things, they decide who gets promoted, they decide who gets the pay rises. So start influencing this key audience as well. My next point is take on growth projects. These are projects that help widen your skill set and help put you in touch with different members of your team and ideally helps put you in touch with senior members of your team. So these could be big projects that they're working on where you offer your assistance because you feel like it will help you accelerate your career, and you manage this alongside your day job. So you don't let this affect what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, but it's on top of what you're doing, and you're still managing to execute your existing work to a really high level. So this is great because you're speaking to people that you wouldn't normally speak to. You've got the opportunity to ask them questions to learn new things, and you'll be widening your skill set by working on projects you wouldn't normally work on. So there's multiple benefits to doing this. That's why we call them growth projects. So take these on. Obviously make sure your manager or whoever you report to is happy with this, but ultimately, as long as you're doing your work, they can see this project's going to help you grow. They are likely to be very supportive of this. And my last point is be yourself. Be yourself. Find an environment where you can be yourself, where you can be your authentic self, and you don't have to code switch. So if you're not aware, code switching is when you dramatically change your personality to fit in to a different environment. In most cases, people refer to work environments, and that's not something that you want to have to do because you won't be happy doing it. It will take up a lot of brain power. It's very draining. You want to find somewhere where you can be yourself, where you can be who you are, because obviously to a certain extent, we act differently with our friends, with our family, to what we would normally at work, but this shouldn't compromise who you are and your character. So that's my final point. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like. If you want more content like this, let me know in the comments. If you're going on this journey, if you've got questions for me, comment below. I will do my best to answer. And if you haven't already, subscribe because I've got lots more content to come. So thanks for watching and keep chasing those goals.